Okay, we got number 69.
69.
What is
69.
it with that number showing up? This one?
But still, yeah, Luigi, change that coin total as soon as possible.
69.
This was a family-friendly channel, I don't want.
Well, who would have thought? A 90s point-and-click adventure game based on the American animated television series Beavis and Butt-Head, created by Mike Judge, seemed perfect for this review timing. Those of you not familiar with the show only need to know that the title characters are two teenage delinquents who are basically stupid, ugly, apathetic, cruel, and tend to resort to gross-out humor and innuendos and other controversial actions depending on your tolerance level, and they are very funny to watch, with subtle digs at society, pop culture, and of course rock and heavy metal music. So let's see if Beavis and Butt-Head in Virtual Stupidity is not only a good game, but a good adaptation of the show. Actually, is it cool or does it suck? As befitting any episode of the Beavis and Butt-Head TV show, the story is very simple, driven by the humour and commentary. The title teenagers are threatened once again by the criminal Todd. Regardless of this, they still think he's cool and wants to join him and his gang. And that's it. The story sees Beavis and Butt-Head having to get out of their school class and exploring around Highland, including the familiar locations of their house and burger world where they work. Cue the antics and confusion and possibly the attempts to score. Right off the bat, the presentation is easily faithful to the show. The cutscenes may as well be animations directly from the show, and the art style during gameplay, while different, is still great due to the animation and simple yet effective colours. The sound effects are generally the only thing heard in each screen of the game, sometimes looped to annoying effect. So, the music is minimal, apart from the title theme, a few minigame themes, and of course, the music videos that Beavis and Butt-Head react to. Yes, there are a few of those in the game. This brings us on to the humour. If you like the TV show, you will easily find this very funny. From the trademark catchphrases, yes, including that laugh, to the dialogue choices. A large portion of the dialogue is optional and definitely a highlight as you're figuring out how to solve the puzzles. Mike Judge and the rest of the voice cast do the voice acting, which again makes it like the cartoon. Then again, if you're not into a cartoon, well, maybe this game won't change your mind. But just somehow, the, shall we say, juvenile humour really works, and is just a cover for the social satire. The game's humour doesn't necessarily feel as deep as the show's, given this was released closer to the later seasons, but one cannot help at least quietly chuckling away. Perhaps you'll be laughing too much to notice what the gameplay is like. Okay, maybe not. Those of you who know your Monkey Islands, David Tentacles and so on will recognise the point-and-click adventure gameplay where you move Beavis and Butt-Head, usually Butt-Head as the default leader, around the screen and interact with characters and objects. The controls are simple. You use the left mouse button to confirm actions and the right mouse button or keyboard shortcuts to walk, talk, look and use something either in the environment or from the items you collect. As with any point-and-click adventure, you use all this to solve puzzles and try and complete the story. Like the LucasArts adventure games, you cannot die in this game, save for an Easter egg, and you only get stuck on puzzles, trying to figure out who to talk to or what to interact with, where and when. The use of items is simplified in contrast to other games of this type, namely due to the red highlight on an item only appearing when it can be used in the environment or on characters and even occasionally combined with another. This effectively removes the need for the title characters to say, I cannot use this item here, or I cannot do that. But then again, they are stupid and maybe you have to think stupid like them. First of all, the progression is easily comparable to the adventure game Sam & Max Hit the Road, where talking to characters and so on generally unlocks new locations. For example, supporting character Tom Anderson will mention the Veteran Hall, and then Beavis and Butt-Head can go to that location. Some characters will move from one location to another or disappear depending on what puzzles are solved. On one occasion, Beavis and Butt-Head are stuck in jail until they find a way out. This means that the puzzles are mostly required to be solved in a specific order. Most of the puzzles are fairly simple and quite fun to solve, but some others are fairly questionable in their logic. One or two of the puzzles require that you have watched the show. Hint, one of them is about Beavis' alter ego Cornholio.
I am Cornholio. I have no butthole.
and a few puzzles require some strange object interaction and some pixel hunting for occasionally obscure objects. It's in this pixel hunting that the graphics are inconsistent. There are a few small items on the screen which are hard to tell at first if you can use them or not, and this can distract from the small items that are actually usable. The school gym at the beginning, for instance, does require the juxtaposition of two environmental objects and feels unconventional. And one puzzle was incomplete for so long just because one small item was not spotted in a shop. Even the exit sign to leave Todd's shed can take a minute to find. This can result in moving the use command around for visible objects or just looking for that weird highlight in every scene for item usage, all of which feel frustrating, especially in the second half of the game. This does beg the question of whether you have to be stupid or even destructive like the title characters and just do random things. The upside to this randomness, however, is of course the humour. Much of the dialogue that does not progress the game is funny, and you can chuckle at the stupid and silly things that happen from so much as spitting on the principal from the school building roof. This spitting is actually a mandatory minigame, whereas the other three are optional. For what they lack in longevity, they are somewhat fun, including one where you get to make your own music from one octave of notes. You want to do the Super Mario Bros. Melody in burps or farts? You can do that? So, which audience is this game for? For Beavis and Butt-Head fans? For point-and-click adventure fans? Well, for the adventure game fans to start off with, much of this game will be readily familiar. Save for a few puzzles, the game is fairly easy, and again takes a few hours to complete. Even less so if you know exactly what the progression is. The minigames extend the longevity of the game, but not by much. For an adaptation of a TV show, however, it is very entertaining, possibly even to those who have not watched or liked the show. Then again, this could be a good starting point for playing adventure games. Don't expect Beavis and Butt-Head in Virtual Stupidity to be innovative or stand out from other adventure games, and just treat it as a fun little game that does well in contrast to a portion of other games in adapting a well-known IP.